Hello everyone. Let us discuss telephone etiquette, which comes under Unit 5 of English Praxis 1, a course in communication and soft skills. Telephone etiquette is the need of the hour. Why means we generally converse with many people on telephone, which identifies our professionalism and also it creates a certain kind of impression on the receiver of our callers. First, let us discuss what is etiquette. It is a code of conduct and behavior in various contexts like personal, social, professional. Etiquette implies following conventions of society and they denote the way one acts. They characterize an individual. Good behavior is needed in every walk of life. In simpler words, it is defined as a good behavior which distinguishes human beings from animals. It refers to behaving in a socially responsible way. It refers to guidelines which control the way a responsible individual should behave in the society. It makes us a cultured individual. It is very essential for creating an everlasting first impression. It enables the individuals to earn respect and appreciation in the society. No one would feel like talking to a person who doesn't know how to speak or behave in the society. Etiquette inculcates a feeling of trust and loyalty in the individuals. It helps individuals to value relationships. Let us now discuss the characters of general etiquette. Etiquettes and manners were evolved across the history. They are evolved from basic motivation factors like ethics, conduct, love, and integrity. They are the outcome of factors like faculty of reason, communication, feeling of oneness, desire, and experience. Some of them are established by religious books, and some are mere notions of common sense. The moral values that separate human beings from other creatures of the world are the bedrock of etiquette. So, everybody should inculcate certain manners which are acceptable by the society because man is a social animal or a social being. Now, coming to the general characters of etiquette are politeness, transparency, boundaries, habits, gratitude, equality, and truthfulness. Politeness means it can be defined as showing a great skill in managing our words and actions. As a result of it, others will have better opinion on us. Coming to transparency, it creates healthy and positive behavior among people, which results in good manners and etiquettes. You must always remember that secrecy may serve temporary purposes but not permanent relationships. Coming to boundaries, drawing line in all relations will make interactions healthy and secure. Good fences make good neighbors. It is an age old saying, and you're all well aware of it. And it is also argued that manners help us to reduce the boundaries between the public sphere and the private sphere. Coming to habits, they also contribute to the understanding of manners. They are operated at a subconscious level. Gratitude, it is a heart of saying thanks. which derives the people to the best ends in their dealings with others. It creates wonderful expressions and expectations. Ingratitude is mischievous and it mismatches people in many situations. Equality. It is one of the best known expressions and beliefs. We must show equality and it gives happiness to others, and there will not be any kind of conflicts or uh, controversies when we show equality. Truthfulness. One of the greatest virtues in human dealings is truthfulness. False may serve better at present, but it does not have future. A soothing lie is dangerous than a harsh truth. People who speak truth may create temporary enemies but have everlasting friends. Now, coming to the types of etiquette, there are different types of personal etiquette which will teach us how to create lasting and positive impressions. Now, let us look at various types. Social etiquette. It is very important for any individual to follow social etiquette as it teaches him how to behave in the society. Corporate etiquette. It refers to how an individual should behave while he is at work. Each one needs to maintain the decorum of the organization, and we must not loiter around unnecessary activities. Meeting etiquette. It refers to styles one need to adopt when he is attending any meeting, seminar, presentation, and so on. Listen to what the other person has to say. Never enter meeting room without a notepad and pen. It is important to note down important points for future reference. Telephone etiquette. It is essential to learn how one should interact with the other person over the phone, and we shall discuss it in the coming slides in detail. Business etiquette. It includes ways to conduct a certain business. Don't ever cheat customers. It is the primary element in the business etiquette. Eating etiquette. Individual must follow a certain decorum while eating in public. Don't make noise while eating. One should not leave the table unless and until everyone has finished eating. Coming to internet etiquette, which is also known as netiquette. It is about the ways to communicate with other people when you are using internet. Now, let us discuss telephone etiquette in detail. Telephone etiquette is also known as phone etiquette. It identifies your professionalism and creates a good impression. It enhances trust and loyalty among your callers. In business, it gains high satisfaction in the customers. The telephone is perhaps one of the most helpful inventions of the 18th century. Though technology has advanced over the years, making a conversation is necessary today. And that too, using phone has become very common. So, one should cultivate telephone etiquette. Talking to someone face to face is different from talking over telephone. When we communicate with someone in person, we can see gestures, lip movements, and body language to listening to each other. But when we are on the phone, we hear only sound and tone. So, we must be very careful while conversing with others over the telephone. Here are some tips to communicate better over the phone. Salutation. It is the first tip. Just like face to face conversation, the other party in the telephonic conversation expects you to open the conversation with a pleasant greeting. And it is a kind of suggestion that you should begin the phone call with an appropriate greeting like good morning, good afternoon, depending on the time of the day which you are calling. And do not use the words such as yeah or yes. So, greeting uh, the other person, greeting the receiver is very important. Take permission and be courteous. A polite word always helps in bringing warmth into the conversation. And it is also very important to take permission to speak to the person you have intended to call. And one should always remember that to use a polite tone. And you must use phrases like, may I speak with you, sir? Or may I speak with you, madam? And you must be very sensitive to the tone of your voice. And that sound or the tone of your voice should not be aggressive or pushy. And it is also very important that your tone conveys authority and confidence. And while speaking, you must be very careful and try to record your own conversations so that you can hear the sound, okay, in which you are speaking to others. Just to observe your voice, record them. Otherwise, no need. Identify self and the institute or organization. Here it is a very important point. The most common mistake that people make during a phone call is not identifying oneself. And it is considered inappropriate and it can also lead to miscommunication. Always introduce yourself before getting into the conversation. And it is very important. Always introduce yourself before getting into any conversation. Uh, Next point, precision. Precision means here your tone of voice should be clear, and when you are conversing with the people, you must use complete, concise, and concrete sentences, and your voice should be very clear. And you must not use broken phrases and you must use simple language so that the other person who is over the phone should understand whatever you are communicating. Next, a reason for the call. Before making a phone call, be sure of the purpose of the call. Think exactly and plan accordingly. And uh, whatever you want to say, okay, you have to think uh, before. And when you are asking or when you are discussing or when you are questioning something, there must be a kind of smooth conversation. So, before calling any person, you must be aware of for what purpose or for what reason you are calling for. Know your timeline and keep it short. While speaking on the phone, you are not in front of the other party. You should remember this. Hence, it is very important to ask if the receiver has enough time to speak to you. And always respect the receiver's time, and you must ensure that the conversation gets completed within the given timeline. Avoid fillers and keep it interesting. And you must avoid filler words like and never. Okay, use such kind of filler words. And during the telephonic conversation, a filler word sends a signal to the other person that you are not interested to speak to them. So you try to say full sentences. Smile through the phone, which is very important. Keep a smile in your voice, and so that the other person pays attention to the tone of your uh, voice. Find some quiet place. Communicating over the telephone is much more effective when both the parties can hear each other clearly without any background noise. So, plan to make your call and do not sit in front of TV or do not talk with the other persons and see that there are no disturbances around. Okay, blaring noises may which interfere, okay, and they may create miscommunication between both the parties. Summarize and conclude. There are various benefits of summarizing and paraphrasing your phone call, and it is very important also. So, if there is any information which needs to be changed or altered, the other party has an opportunity to add on if you summarize and paraphrase your phone call. And always end the call with a pleasantry like, "It was pleasure speaking with you. Have a nice day." You have to use such kind of phrases. Now, coming to telephone etiquette. And everybody should cultivate some manners while using the telephone. Among them, the first point is, do not take too long to pick up a call, which means pick the call immediately. Otherwise, you will miss something. If you miss the call, make sure you give a call back. It is possible that the other person has an important message to convey. So, you have to do call back when you have missed calls. Do not give missed calls. Some people have a habit of doing missed calls. It may irritate the other person, and giving missed calls do not show professionalism. Be sure that you are talking to the right person. Reconfirm by asking the name of the person or the company or mentioning the number. Do not just disconnect. If you dialed a wrong number, okay, if you dialed a wrong number, then you have to say sorry and then disconnect it. If you get a wrong call, politely say that they have probably got the wrong person, and don't scold them. Don't shout into the phone. You should remember this point. Don't shout into the phone or the mobile, especially when you are in the public places. It may create disturbance to others. When you are at a meeting, make sure to put your mobile in silent mode. When you are conversing with someone, if your mobile rings, excuse yourself if you have to take the call and come outside the meeting hall and attend the call. Always end your conversations with a thank you. Then the other party or the other receiver will be very happy. If there are network issues, deal with them patiently. Do not get irritated. It may give a negative impression of you on the speaker. Always remember your voice has to be very pleasant while interacting with the other person over the phone. Never call any person at odd hours. If it is urgent, we have to call. Otherwise, no need. Your voice must be clear and audible. Then proper communication will take place over the telephone. This is the main point which you have to remember. Your voice must be clear, audible, and your language must be precise. Now, coming to the conclusion, Thus, it is inevitable that we will be required to speak on the phone sometimes. Whichever type of phone user you are, it is important to learn proper phone etiquette so that you can give others a good impression of you or the business you represent, and also make it a pleasant experience for the other person on the line. So, everybody should inculcate certain telephone etiquette in order to make our communications and conversations pleasant and smooth. Thank you.